The first rumor started on a Thursday night when the legend of the Netflix curse spread like wildfire, warning people of the impending doom that awaited those who dared to watch Netflix starting this Friday. The witch had cursed Netflix, and anyone who watched it would suffer a terrible fate. The warnings were clear: turn off your televisions, seal your windows, and pray for dawn. It sounded absurd, like the plot of a bad horror movie. But as Friday drew closer, strange paranormal activity began to plague the minds of those who faithfully watched Netflix. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter were buzzing with frantic discussions about the Netflix curse. The chilling message, "Do not watch Netflix this Friday. Beware the curse of the witch," was everywhere. This Friday marked the anniversary of her death, and as the hours passed, Netflix subscribers reported eerie occurrences. Ghostly figures lurked in the shadows of their TV screens. Eerie whispers beckoned them to watch just one more episode, depriving them of sleep, and screams of the dead seemed to come from right beside them. Most people laughed it off. After all, curses were for ghost stories and horror movies, not real life. But some, those who remembered the old tales about the town's haunted past, felt a chill creep up their spines. As the night wore on, the paranormal activity intensified. The witch sought revenge on those indulging in Netflix's endless content. The rumor stated that if you watch Netflix this Friday, the witch would crawl through your TV screen, her eyes glowing with an otherworldly light, and snatch your soul, leaving behind a lifeless body forever trapped in a vegetative state, staring blankly at the screen. It began innocuously enough, but by the time the first victims were found, the world realized that the Netflix curse was no mere legend. Some deleted their Netflix accounts, while others couldn't resist the temptation. But the allure of their favorite shows proved too great. The day had finally come. It was Friday night as I sat on my couch, scoffing at the lame curse joke. As a skeptic and diehard lover of horror, my Friday nights were sacred to Netflix binges with a big buttery bowl of popcorn. I told myself it was just paranoia, and there was no such thing as the Netflix curse. Yet, my usual excitement for Friday night movies had vanished. The TV's glow felt unnaturally intense with a dark energy, a menacing presence in my otherwise familiar living room. I tried to ignore it, to focus on the movie, but the tension was unbearable. Relentless whispers of warnings wormed their way into my subconscious, saying I was going to die. An eerie feeling I just couldn't ignore. The movie I was watching on Netflix became more vivid and real, the images increasingly disturbing and gruesome. The screen flickered violently, the characters on the show distorted into monstrous abominations. Their eyes bled dark, viscous liquid, their mouths twisted into grotesque grins. A cacophony of tortured screams and malevolent laughter erupted from the TV, making my blood run cold. My heart pounded in my chest, my breaths coming in short, panicked gasps. As I struggled to tear my eyes away, the images on the screen seemed to leap out, surrounding me in a suffocating darkness. The room grew colder, the temperature plummeting to an unbearable chill. My breath formed visible puffs in the air, and my fingers turned numb. The whispers grew louder, more insistent, and distinctly malevolent. They spoke of doom, of pain, of endless torment. My limbs felt heavy, as if weighed down by invisible chains. I could feel a presence behind me, its icy breath on my neck, its fingers grazing my skin. I dared not turn around, but the hairs on the back of my neck stood on end. The scent of sulfur filled the room, mingling with the stench of rotting flesh. Suddenly, a piercing shriek from the TV screen jolted me awake. I looked away, my heartbeat hammering against my ribs. My body went numb. I couldn't move, couldn't speak, and could barely breathe. I was trapped, my eyes glued to the screen, watching in terrified horror as she crawled out of the TV, like the creepy girl in the movie The Ring. A dark figure emerged from the darkest depths of my television screen. A decayed, clawed hand began clawing its way out, pulling a disfigured, emaciated body with hollow eye sockets and a mouth frozen in a permanent, agonizing wail. The dark witch crept slowly towards me, jerking and twitching as if having a seizure. Her eyes glowed with a sickly green light, and a malevolent grin spread across her decayed lips. Her voice was a guttural rasp, each word dripping with venom. "You watched," she hissed. "Now you will pay." I was paralyzed, unable to move as she inched closer, her skeletal fingers reaching out to touch my face. The touch was icy, burning like dry ice against my skin. She leaned in, her breath rancid and suffocating. "Your soul is mine," she whispered, her voice echoing in my mind, filling it with unbearable pain. With a sudden, violent motion, she shoved her wicked claws down my throat, tearing at my soul. The pain was excruciating, a searing agony that spread through every nerve in my body. I could feel my consciousness slipping away, my vision darkening. My soul was ripped from my body, leaving me in a zombie state, just staring at the screen, forever engulfed in the Netflix curse. The next day, people were found dead in their homes, slumped over their TVs, their eyes wide and blank, staring at the screen, frozen in silent terror. They called it the Netflix curse. They warned people to stay away from their TVs on Friday. The witch's revenge was complete, her curse spreading fear and death to all who dared to watch. The town was never the same. The streets were eerily quiet, the once bustling community now a ghost town. The scent of fear hung heavy in the air, a constant reminder of the horrors that had unfolded. People boarded up their homes, covered their mirrors and screens, and lived in perpetual dread of the next Friday. Whispers of the curse lingered, a constant undercurrent of fear that no one could escape. The witch's malevolent presence was always felt, lurking in the shadows every Friday, waiting for the next victim to fall prey to the Netflix curse.